Pernod. Susan is responsible for IT and membership at Democrats Abroad Germany and is based here in Munich. Let's see if it works with this.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. So I would like to start just by explaining what's membership IT. Why are those things together? Membership is easy, you know what that means, that's you. And IT, information technology, means that all of the administrators, the people who have been up here talking about their work, Candace and Kenton, all of the chapter chairs, they are logging into our information systems that let them do things like emailing their members or posting news and events on our website and accessing the database. The database is where we have all of our members' contact information. And that contact information, that data, is a key resource for our Get Out the Vote efforts. It is necessary for everything. In order to get out the vote, we need good contact information. In order to get out the vote, we need active volunteers. So, how is my role contributing to this end? With that data, one of the important things I'm doing is looking at it and making sure that what we have is good, accurate, usable contact information. So I'm looking to make sure that we don't have errors that make it unusable, that somebody hasn't entered their email address as gmail.com instead of gmail.com, or that some German umlauts haven't been transmitted and turned an address into gibberish. We also have to make sure that our information is up to date. We have to confirm that DA members are still in Germany every 4 years so that we know that our information is current. We have to reach out to people that we haven't heard from in a while. So that's part of what I do too. I'm reaching out and I'm asking people for corrections or for more information. Are you still in Germany? Would you update your address so that we can send you our postal mailing with information about voting? Or would you give us your phone number so that we can remind you to send in your ballot? Or would you like to volunteer? Another thing that I do with the data is I share it. I am creating and editing a lot of spreadsheets. The chapter chairs might need a list because they're doing some targeted calling. Barb needs a spreadsheet for Darmstadt because she's starting things up there. Or Kenton is reaching out to people who are living in the Braunschweig area. And we had volunteers call every member in Munich to invite them to this meeting. And this is very effective use of our time. I can tell when Barb is making those phone calls because those Frankfurt members are pouring in. She's talking to people and they're talking to people and we're getting new members. And the Munich calls worked. Our registration is way up and you are all here and you're ready to get involved, and that means that we can do more in 2020. So the website is another resource. I do some support for the administrators posting things, making sure that they can get their news and events posted, or doing things like we created a new page for volunteering in Germany. So we have the volunteer coordinators working on that. I help to set up things like that. Another, I think, more important piece of my work is training. I have been holding monthly training sessions for DA Germany's volunteers on these information systems. For database and emailing and website work, the administrators get trained and certified to do that, but there's a lot to learn beyond that starting point, and I'm here to do that, whether people are brand new to the systems and just learning how things work, or if they're digging in deep and really trying to pull apart and make use of what's there. So I answer a lot of questions. I get emails and phone calls. I do a lot of Skype screen sharing sessions to show people how to do things. And I work on the global help desk too, where we get a lot of questions. And I think that this is really key. My work is to help all of you volunteers to sharpen the saws and to oil the wheels so that what you're doing you can do effectively and efficiently. And I want everybody to feel like they're well supported in this work, that you're not out there on your own trying to figure it out, but there are people who understand the background workings and can just make those tools more usable for you. So, welcoming members is another piece. Candace mentioned this earlier. We have the welcome letter going out to new members. It's going out every day now. We're getting 10 to 15 new members in DA Germany every day. This is a small and basic thing. Sending out that letter with information to everybody new, it takes 20 or 30 minutes a day right now, and it needs to happen daily. So, yeah, having volunteers able to do that kind of regular work is an important piece of drawing people in, getting them engaged, showing them ways that they can get involved. All right, I've already talked about all that. Okay, so the next question was what is planned and when to get out the vote? We have a big annual membership cleanup every year, and that's just wrapping up right now. We usually do it at the end of the year, and our deadline is February 1st, so people have been making lots of verification, getting more information kind of calls, and we're just wrapping that up now. But most of the work that I do is just background, running, humming all the time, all year round. We are making these member lists all year round. We are training people and answering questions, and all year round giving people the support that they need. So, in 2019, we get a score for how clean is our data, how accurate and up to date. And Germany is 96.1% clean. This is pretty good. We are in the green. But we could do better. There are 13 countries in DA that have higher numbers than 96.1. And yes, fair. There are 2 small countries that have 100% scores. So, I don't know. Sherry?
New Zealand and Czech Republic.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. And some of the work of cleaning, of getting this information to be accurate and up to date is these phone calls, and it happens at the local level. And that's something that happens unevenly across our country. And I think that what we could do to improve that is to get volunteers maybe who are just devoted to that task. It shouldn't just be the chapter chair's job. They have so much to do. And so recruiting some people to have that as their focus in a chapter would be fantastic. Yeah, another thing that we could do to improve, we have some issues where the admins get certified to have access to our database, and there are some limits in our system to how that's distributed, and some areas we need more people to get certified so that they have people who can do this work, and in some places we have more people certified than we have slots, and so we have to do a little juggling and redistributing so that everybody can get the work that they're trying to do done. So, where do I need support to reach the goals? These chapter volunteers, that would be fantastic. Working on data accuracy. It would be things like calling members or mailing people if we don't have a phone number. Sometimes we might need to send a postcard and give them an easy way to get us an update. We have people who are not mailable. We would really like to reach them and ask them for a mailing address. We have tools in our information systems where we can look at a map view of a chapter's members, and having somebody looking at that and saying, hey, why does the Munich chapter have somebody who lives in Hamburg? And then reaching out to them and saying, was that on purpose? Did you want to be in Munich because you come here all the time? Or just making sure that that is accurate. We could have people looking at that. And another piece of what comes in with the welcoming new members, those people are sometimes telling us that they want to volunteer. And so I'm sending out the welcome letters, and then the chapter leaders are getting notification that they have these new people, and reaching out to the people who have said they want to volunteer and finding good ways for them to fit into the work that we're trying to do is a really important piece of that process. And lastly, sadly, I am looking for a replacement for my position. My family's temporary assignment here is being cut short, and I'm expecting to return to the US. And there are some little pieces of what I do that I can keep doing from there, but Germany needs a local membership coordinator, and Munich needs a local phone banking coordinator. And I just want to say this has been very rewarding work. It's so easy to tell that the admins I'm working with are appreciative. It's much needed, and so much of it is just very learnable. This is work that many people could do. Yeah.
Could you say something about data protection?
Data protection. So,
all this information, it seems to the normal member, is just flying around, and it's not.
It's not.
Would you
No.
explain that, please?
That's right. So Europe has a data protection policy, GDPR, General Data Protection, I forget.
Regulation.
Thank you. And all of Democrats Abroad's information is bound by those regulations, even though not all of our members are in Europe where those laws apply, because all of our data is together. So all around the world, we are obliged to respect our members' privacy by treating their data as their property, by only making changes to it when they request it, by deleting them when they ask to be deleting it, by not sharing it beyond the places where it's needed for the work and for the purposes for which they gave it to us. Those are the basics of it.
I had a question. So due to a recent move, I'm pretty sure my information isn't up to date anymore. What's the process for that? Or just in general, can we check somewhere to make sure that our data is correct?
Yes. If you go to the democratsabroad.org website, there is a link to log in. If you don't know your password, you can just request a new one. It'll come to you automatically. So just put in your email, your password if you know it, and it'll take you to your profile, and you can update it there.
The other easy way that everyone, the other easy way that everyone needs to do is just go to votefromabroad.org. Your information's there. When you enter it, if you use the same email address that you have on your DA account, it will automatically update the information for you.
There you go.
So use VFA.
Sounds good.
All right, come talk to me if you're interested in this work.
We have Robin back here.
Bravo, Susan.
This was actually to do with getting out the vote. And I don't know if I can ask this question now or I'll just ask. At our global primary in 2016, we were in a restaurant and we had a wonderful waitress, and at the end of the evening, she said, "Oh, by the way, I'm also American." She's German and American. And we're like, "Why didn't you tell us?" "I didn't want to bother you." Well, there are a lot of Germans that are actually also American citizens, and are we trying to find them? Is there someone focusing on that?
You want to take that? Okay.
Thank you, Susan.
So that's an excellent question. We are, one of the new elements that we brought into Democrats Abroad to try to be a little bit more methodical as to what we're doing, and we're very fortunate here in Germany. The statistics that I threw on the screen earlier, the 120,000, all of that is available and public information from the German state. So if you look, like when we all go to the Stadthaus to do our Anmeldung, when you move and you're changing and updating your Democrats Abroad information, that becomes available to us. So through that, in some of the German states,
you will see statistics on dual citizens. However, that's not across the board. So that's one way that we can kind of gauge it, but I have to admit that's a little bit of a challenge. So if anyone has ideas on how we could find these pockets of dual citizens and kind of better target our outreach, I'd be very interested to hear your opinion. And in that context, I do need to say thank you to two people, Mark Neal, I don't know where Mark is, and Robert Scott. All right. These two, for our leadership retreat in the fall, compiled all of this information for Germany, state by state, looking at where does it make the most sense to run ads, where does it make the most sense to do events, where are the big pockets of Americans that we're kind of neglecting at the moment. So thank you, Mark and Robert, for doing some data analysis. Again, I would just throw out there all of these areas we're talking about, and there still are a few more. We are always looking for new ideas. We're looking for your input. We're looking for your creativity and how we can keep evolving as an organization and improving our outreach. So during lunch and coffee breaks, and there is a volunteer sign-up sheet. If any of these areas strike your interest, or you think, yes, I have talents and skills in that area, we would like to hear from you. So having said that, I would invite up our next presentation.